everyone. Welcome to my channel, Gracy Talks Well. My name is Grace, and on this channel, what do we know how to do best? What we do is we talk about real strategies, all right, for immigrant families, and that will enable them, especially for families that want to provide protection for themselves, grow and pass on well the smart way. So if that is you, you are in the right place. Okay, so you have just arrived, or you are planning your big move to Canada. You've heard that you need life insurance, but now you are seeing two terms everywhere. You're seeing temporary and you're seeing permanent, and you're wondering, what are those? What is the difference between these two? Which one should you choose as a newcomer? So I'm going to break it down for you. Don't worry, I will make it make sense. Even if English may not be your first language, and even if you've never owned insurance before, sit tight and be relaxed. I will make the two types of permanent life insurance that that most immigrants have to make decision over. I'll make that very clear for you. So this could be one of the most important money decisions that you make early on in Canada. So stay with me, all right? And thank you very much once again for tuning in. Here is what life insurance is all about. Here is why it matters for you, especially as a newcomer, is that before we get into the types, I would like to quickly talk about why life insurance matters for newcomers. Here is the reality. You are building a new life here in Canada, right? And the next is that you may not have health benefits yet. You may be the main provider of your family. So what happens if something unexpected happens to you? I know for you, being positive does not give you that room to think like that, but we're being logical here. And if you are relocating to a part of the world where they are big on logic, you might as well take advantage of the benefits that leaning towards that provides. So life insurance is how we make sure that your kids stay in school, whatever happens in the future, that your partner can keep the house that you got as a mortgage, and there is no GoFundMe or debt burden on your loved ones. That is why the sooner you get protected, the better, and often the cheaper. Okay, so let's start with temporary life insurance. What is temporary life insurance? Temporary life insurance is also called term life, and this is exactly what it sounds like. Insurance for a specific term, let's say term 10, term 20, or 30 years. What are the pros of temporary life insurance or term life insurance? The first one is affordability. It is the most budget-friendly option that you have available, especially if you are just starting out in Canada. The second one is that it's simple, very easy to understand. You choose how long you want the coverage. That's how simple it is. And the third one is that it is perfect for short-term needs. And what are those short-term needs? As we say it here in Canada, covering your mortgage is a short-term need. You don't expect to pay your mortgage forever. You might plan to finish paying your mortgage in 5, 10, 20 years, right? From the time you decide to, get a mortgage. Protecting your young kids is another, basic fundamental that term insurance covers you for. Replacing lost income if something happens to you is also another key. Now, who is term life insurance best for? It's best for new immigrants that are tight on budget. Okay, it is best for families with kids under 18. It is also for people who want protection now and flexibility later. And it is best for entrepreneurs still building up. And here is the smart move. The smart move is that get it while you are young and healthy, and it will enable you to lock in lower monthly payments for years. Okay, so we've talked about temporary or term life insurance. Let's talk about permanent life insurance. Let's look at permanent life insurance that people consider the big one. It is so described because it is a lifelong coverage. It never expires as long as you pay your premiums. Okay, and there is more. This one has built-in savings component. The pros of permanent life insurance is that it provides you with lifetime protection. You don't need to renew. There is no expiry date. Okay, and going forward, it also helps you to build cash value, which might interest you. Okay, you're able to have that money that grows tax deferred, okay, inside your permanent life policy. The third is that it enables you to build wealth. So wealth building that allows you to borrow against your money. You borrow against it later for emergencies, for education, or even for your business. All right, it gives you that legacy power because it guarantees an inheritance that is tax-free. And it's until you live in Canada you will know the value of building wealth tax-free, because taxes are a huge part of Canadians or even anyone living in North America. All right, so who is permanent life insurance best for? It is best for the immigrant who is thinking long term, who is thinking retirement and generational wealth. It is for those who want to invest and protect at the same time. So they want the legacy and the protection portion at the same time. And it's for parents who want to leave something behind no matter what it is. It's also for people who have dependents or special needs children. Okay, now here is a smart move with regards to this. Even if it's more expensive upfront, permanent life insurance builds value and peace of mind over the long run. If I was to do a head-to-head comparison of permanent term life insurance versus permanent life insurance, I will put up a table, and you will see that table that summarizes the comparison between both temporary life insurance and permanent life insurance. Here on this table that I have prepared for you, you have the features. You have temporary life or term life insurance, you have permanent, and in permanent life insurance we have whole life and universal life. So let's dwell on the cost first. Which is cheaper? Temporary life insurance obviously is cheaper, and while permanent life insurance is more expensive upfront, okay, in contrast to term life insurance. What about the length of coverage? So for temporary life insurance, it ends after, depending on the term you chose in your policy, it ends after 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. But for permanent life insurance, it lasts your whole life. Which one builds cash value? Temporary life insurance doesn't build cash value. So there is no asset advantage to that. Yes, permanent life insurance builds that wealth for you, and it builds it tax deferred, with tax deferred savings. So which one is good for new immigrant? Both of them. It all depends on what your goal is and what your strategy coming to Canada is. Okay, so for temporary life insurance, yes, it is easy and it's more affordable. In fact, it can be very affordable. Some of my clients have paid as low as $14 per month, and it can even get cheaper than that. Yes, for permanent life insurance, yes, it's also good for newcomers who have that plan and strategy to build a legacy and they are investment savvy. Can it be converted later? So let's look at the convertibility of term life insurance. Yes, it does have that clause. So what you have to do is you speak to your broker and make sure that the temporary life insurance plan that you are getting has renewability and convertibility. I'm going to dwell on that in subsequent videos. Okay, and for your permanent life insurance, there is no need for convertibility. It's already permanent. Okay, what about the wealth building power? Does it provide you, does it give you that power to build wealth? For temporary life insurance, no. For permanent life insurance, yes, it gives you the ability to build long-term assets. Okay, so here are my translations. If your main goal now is affordability, affordable protection, please go with term. And when I say term, I mean temporary life insurance. But if you want to combine protection plus savings plus wealth building, so you can leave a lasting legacy, go with permanent. And by saying so, I mean permanent life insurance. All right, or you can start with term and you upgrade when your income grows. All right, so what should be my recommendation for newcomers? If you're brand new to Canada and you're wondering, where do I start? You can start with temporary life insurance or term life insurance if you are on a budget. If you need price for now, if you need peace of mind, a price that will give you that peace of mind that, okay, I can afford this and I have protection for now. And if you're still figuring out your long-term goals, please go with term life insurance. Okay, and you can consider permanent life insurance if you can afford the higher premiums, if you're planning to stay long-term and build wealth. If that is your strategy, please go with permanent life insurance. And also, if you want to protect your families even 40 years from now, you're looking at 40 years, 50 years protection and going forward, consider permanent life insurance. You can also mix both of them. So like I said, speak to a licensed life insurance agent or broker, and they can provide you with the different plans that is available for your choice. You can mix both, like I said earlier, because many families do that. They rather choose to have the best of both worlds. And what that means is that you have a plan that combines a temporary policy for mortgage years and a small permanent policy for legacy planning. So that can be done. Now, I have something great for you to enable you to make that decision. I will always provide you with what I call a free guide, just tailor-made for you. You can email me if you're interested in that. My email address is gracytalkswealth@gmail.com. The email address is in our description box. You can DM me insurance coverage. We are on all the socials, on Instagram, on Twitter. We are on X, okay, and we're on TikTok. So whichever way you can reach out to us, you have multiple avenues to reach out to us. And to reach out to me, you can DM me and say, okay, I want insurance choice data guide that is mentioned in your video for newcomers to Canada, and I will send that to you. It explains in details the difference between temporary life insurance and permanent life insurance with real examples and tips to save money on your first policy. All right, thank you so much for staying with me till this point in this video, and I'm really grateful that you are able to watch today's episode of Gracie Talks Wealth. If you have found this video useful, please be sure to like this video and comment, choose wealth. You can subscribe, you can comment I choose wealth below, okay, and then you can subscribe and turn on your notifications. And remember this, coming to Canada is just the beginning, all right, but protecting your family and building wealth, that is how to build a legacy, correct? Until next time, it is me, Gracie, saying to you, you just don't immigrate. You were sent here to plant something great, and that is why you are here in Canada. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you on my next video. Bye bye.